Hello, AP Lang. This is Ms. Arklin with today's lesson for Wednesday, April 30th, 2020. Today, we are going to be practicing annotation strategy number 3, and you'll be having a practice prompt to do that with. I'm also going to be going over what we're going to be working on the last couple weeks here before the exam so that you know what's to come. All right. So what is coming up? Next week, we are going to be writing your first FRQ. It was originally scheduled for this week, but because of the state mandated teacher professional development days, which are falling on this coming Friday and then the following Monday, you won't have school. So we had to push the FRQ out, but it'll still be totally fine. All right, so we will write the first FRQ next week, and you will have time to annotate the prompt before you actually write it. The week after that, which is the week before the exam, which is crazy, we are going to try to do writing conferences. So it'll be required that every single one of you will need to sign up for a 5 to 10 minute window to meet with your teacher via Google Meet to talk through your FRQ. This is something that we are firm believers in, is that talking through your writing is the quickest way to learn. And some of you are already doing this on your own, and we are hoping to be able to do this with every single one of you before the exam, especially since I haven't met all of you, which sucks. And it just makes scoring your stuff and understanding your writing a little bit trickier. So we're hoping this will be a good opportunity before the exam. In addition to writing conferences that week, you'll have access to a bunch of different prep tools that are all designed to help you achieve sophistication and practice some strategies before the exam, which is the following week. The week of the exam is going to be very chill. We're just going to be doing some last-minute checks to make sure that you have access to technology and that you're ready to go and mentally prepared and mindfully prepared for the exam. If you have questions about anything that's coming up, just send an email to your teacher or jump into their office hours. Also, it is a very stormy day today, so if you hear a bunch of sounds, it's the rain outside my window. I'm all snuggled up right now. It's Tuesday, so it's rainy wherever you are too. Okay, so today we are going to practice the final annotation strategy. And to review, these were the first annotation strategies that we introduced you to. And basically, as we move through these annotation strategies, we are cutting down on the amount that the strategy is scaffolded for you. So this very first one had a lot of different things for you to fill out, for you to think about. Space, of course, which you should always be thinking about first. And then it was line of reasoning, evidence, line number, and strategy, and choice. So it took you through the entire process of annotation. The second strategy that we introduced you to just basically took away some of those other details. It had you think about space, but just focusing on the why versus breaking it all down. So this is a good happy medium annotation strategy for people who are looking for a little bit more support in their annotations without filling out a bunch of different details, because this one develops the line of reasoning, the choice, the evidence, and the significance. It's very similar to what we talk about in class every single day. Now, if you are thinking, Arklin, I've got 15 minutes to annotate on exam day. I don't have time to do all this stuff. I want to just be able to take some rough notes and feel ready to go to start writing and planning in my own way. You're going to really like the annotation strategy for today. This is definitely the most freeform. This one is really, really focused on line of reasoning and just breaking that text apart. And then you are taking freehand notes about what's happening in each section. Personally, this is what would work best for me because I'm far more focused I like to look at the text more holistically. And I think this is going to potentially help some of you who are so focused on the choices that you don't think about the bigger picture. This might help because it's really making sure that you are paying attention to the line of reasoning and the order in which the speaker has set up their purpose And then you're connecting choices to that line of reasoning, which is sophisticated to do. This is what we're going to be using today. So today's assignment is to use this final annotation strategy to annotate the prompt that I've attached on Classroom. The good news is the prompt that I've attached is a prompt that not only you've seen before, but is one of the practice prompts that we've posted to the enrichment page. So this could potentially be the little push you need to do a practice prompt because you've already done the annotations for it. We so encourage you to do those practice prompts. We're not going to assign them. You're going to have 2 FRQs before the exam, the one next week and another one the week following, and then that's it. So if you're somebody who's requested more FRQ writing, more hands-on practice, at this point you have to be disciplined enough to do that on your own. And there's plenty of prompts there for you to look at, and we will happily score them for you. This is one of them. So take this assignment as a boost to do one of these practice prompts. Your prompt that you're annotating is: the passage below is the opening to a speech made in 1960 by American journalist and politician Clare Boothe Lucy to journalists at the Women's National Press Club. In this speech, Lucy went on to criticize the tendency of the American press to sacrifice journalistic integrity in favor of the perceived public demand for sensationalist stories. Sounds familiar. Read the passage carefully, then in a well-developed essay, analyze how Lucy uses this introduction to prepare the audience for her message and support your analysis of her rhetoric with specific references to the text. So in yellow is your context. Notice the speaker-audience relationship. Green is her purpose message, and pink is your task. So how does she use this introduction to set up her message, which is highlighted in green? Paying attention to the rhetorical situation. You should be very prepared to annotate this prompt. It's connected to a lot of the things we've been talking about so far, especially some of the feminist threads that have been in a lot of our texts. So use that rhetorical situation knowledge to your advantage. When you are done annotating using the new strategy here, you are going to submit your annotations to Google Classroom. Feel free to either make a copy of the annotation form and use that, or take a picture of things that you're doing handwritten on notebook paper. It's totally up to you, just testing out the strategy. If you find out you hate it, then you learn something and you know you want to do one of the other annotation strategies on exam day. That's all I have for you. This is due tonight. Send questions if you have them. Enjoy the rainy day. Well, it was yesterday, but you know what I mean.